to get this ready for resale, it's going to be a little bit of what they want to do. If they want to subdivide, keep 2 places together as one, or 3 places together as one parcel, and just subdivide that. I didn't know.
We already tried to do that, and they wouldn't let us do it.
For what reason? Do you remember?
Reasons of due to the driveway,
Yeah.
as it can't go down the way that it is, and that the well is in my house for that property.
That driveway to that house can't come off that road the way it is?
The way it is, no.
Really?
They wouldn't allow that.
So it's grandfathered in now, is it pretty much?
It's just pretty much as it exists as it is, and the big thing is the well. They don't have a separate well, so.
Well, you could put a well in.
But,
You could put a well
get
in, right.
past
Okay,
that, but you
I
can't get
guess you
past the
could.
road issue?
Supposedly, it would have to come out up through here or something. It's too steep.
No. What? Don't you want to subdivide that house off?
Well, we're looking at all options.
Oh.
So,
But
Okay, if you subdivide it off, you're saying you can't use that driveway the way it is now?
That's
down
correct.
below.
That would have to be changed somehow.
Really?
It would have to meet their driveway ordinance.
Maybe just come in on a different angle or elevate it.
Okay, well,
I mean,
it's
it's
an option.
pre-existing, so I can't see that they're going to totally. They have to come up with something for it.
Okay, yeah.
But they don't have to give you the subdivision if
Huh?
you can't
But
come
they
up
said
with something.
they said no,
Yeah.
no matter what we did the last. I'm just saying what they said.
Okay.
Now that is on
Reddington.
a lot with these two.
That's
Everything's
correct.
together right now.
No,
This one is a
This
separate
is a separate
lot.
lot and block.
Wow.
I actually didn't know that when he could show you the,
Okay.
This is the map I got off the DEP site. And actually this property comes down here. So 1, 2, 3 houses are on lot 4. And this main house is on lot 7. It's a
So
landlocked
it's
parcel.
just a right of way or an
Yes.
easement?
Easement,
into this
access
property?
easement along the driveway to this back property because it is
Landlocked.
landlocked.
Okay.
And this is the only wetlands we have to deal with, along with probably 150-foot buffer to the stream. So
Well, this
we'd
is
be
a
good up in
steep
here.
slope
Yeah,
and
we're
everything else,
that's
so.
yeah. So
But
we
not
would be
down
back
there,
in
not
there
down at that
anyway.
end, though.
Right.
so whatever option, I mean, we're going to investigate whatever. We don't know.
Yeah.
We just want to see what
So-
makes sense.
All right. So anyway, I just said to them that if they got permission from the sewer authority to be able to tie in, where is the main line? In the road up
They
there?
told me it was at the end of the road there. There's a line.
Okay. So my whole thing was, Jim, is it possible? Is it possible? This is going to be a pump up no matter what, of course.
Okay.
Yep. So, is it possible if you bring a line up? Well, now I see the lay of the land. I think a lot of it is going to be at the point of connection. You have to see how deep the main is there.
Right.
If that main, let's say that main is 7 feet deep or something like that out in the road,
Uh-huh.
it's still going to be a pump for there.
Yeah.
You might be able
But
to get
I
gravity
meant,
from
yeah,
here.
you might be able to get gravity from these upper places, maybe not here. This might need a pump. Well, my whole thing was that if you bring a line up, at whatever point, if it's pumped the whole way, that's one thing. But if it's only pumped part of the way, and then it could be gravity down into the main, you know, some stubs could be left for future connection,
Right.
or another manhole or something.
Now, whether or not, I mean, these septics are okay, but again, another option was, well, while we're doing it, would it make sense just to connect those? Maybe not.
The only thing I'm going to say to you is that whatever you spend, if this is a viable thing, and Jim researches it, whatever you spend is going to increase the value of these 3 places tenfold, because people don't want septic systems if they can avoid it. If you have 3 houses, somebody bought this parcel as a lived in one and have 2 rentals, and everything's on sanitary, just the price of the place when you list it would go up tremendously, knowing that it's on sewer versus septic.
Okay.
Because
So you think that putting it in, no matter what, would increase and cover the cost of it, of the.
well, he'd have to do some design work to see what's viable, because once he starts putting plans together, if it's going to require, this is a long pump, so they might want I mean, that's a real long pump.
Thing would be to where to put the pump station. Now pump stations though, they come with a lot of regulations as far as like you have to have backup power for them, because if it fails, obviously you can't use the facilities in the house. So they usually make you have a generator involved with them. And
what's the driveway?
and I don't know. I assume this would remain a private pump station rather than RTMUA taking it over. So the people who lived in the house would.
Unless they have it run unless it's run across along the road.
That's a whole other issue. Is that a county road?
Yes.
Okay, so now the county would be involved.
Clean ditches out a little bit. You got a lot. You got.
If you're digging in the right of way, you probably want to keep it in your property.
Yeah, and they didn't send it.
It was.
And when I looked at the maps with them, they didn't see any lines running down the road. There was one out in the back here along the river, but that's a dead line, they said. So I mean, but you'll find out when you speak to them.
We can find out.
Okay.
And
But based upon what he comes up with drawing, as long as it's not too friggin' crazy, I mean, you're gonna have 4 units here. A cost of a 3 to 4 bedroom home these days, it could be anywhere from 30 to 45, 50,000. Now, if you keep 2 houses like those rental units on the same parcel, a system could be designed to handle both of them, because it's always going to be one parcel. If you decide, if this is a separate parcel, so this would have to have its own septic system. Okay, you couldn't put a septic, and I don't think you can do that.
no, you cannot put a septic
separate
system
lot,
on a separate
right?
lot
Right.
than the house.
Right.
So is that 4 bedroom?
It's 3 bedrooms.
That's 3 bedroom.
No,
So
it's 4 bedrooms. No.
Well, the basement's finished.
Can
Man,
be 4 bedrooms.
it could be a 4
the
bedroom.
only thing I'm going to tell you when it comes to selling, and I've been dealing with tons of realtors over the years, the 2 biggest detriments to buying and selling homes in New Jersey are underground oil tanks and septics. So even though you could say, well, we pump on a regular basis, we've never had a problem with that septic's got to be 40 years old. So what's going to happen is you list the house, a potential buyer is going to, oh, I love the house. He's going to go for a mortgage, and the bank's going to say, how old's the septic? Is there ever proof that it's been worked on? You go to the Hunterdon County Board of Health, you research your file, you find, okay, it's never been worked on. So the buyer goes back to the bank and says, well, they're not having any problem with it, but and it's never been worked on, and it's 40 years old. We're not going to give you a mortgage on a 40-year-old system. It's a time bomb waiting to happen. You could move in there with 4 kids, and 6 months later it fail. Now we have to protect our investment if we're going to give you a mortgage. We want you to negotiate and have a new system put in, then we'll give you a loan.
Okay.
So these are things you got, even though I get people all day long, but I've never had it, but doesn't matter. It's the age of the system. Your kids are married, moved out, it's just you and the husband home stressing the system, that's all. You both work during the day yet, so nobody's using it till the evening. You do 1 or 2 loads of wash a week versus 10 or 12 if you have kids. And the banks will just say, yeah, but it's not getting the use that it will with you and your 4 kids. You know.
Well, let's go take a walk down to the property. I want to talk a little bit down there.
So everything would be gravity into the septic tank. Septic tank would overflow to a pump tank and pump
then pump it
station,
up, right.
and then it goes on up.
So we just you'd have to run a new septic pipe
Yeah.
from the bath. The bathroom is that small window up there. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm pretty sure I could almost see that pipe go into the septic.
Yeah, you'd have to pick it up, bring it out here.
Bring it out here.
To a pump station. Bring it out here. And then you pipe that house down to this pump station.
Separate lot.
Your best bet, it could be pumped back up through the field to a new manhole that hopefully you could tie the other 2 in gravity-wise, and then run from gravity down to the downhill
here from those 2
to the
here, and then pump it up from here. I see.
Understand why they. So, what my feeling would be that you do away with the driveway, make that a storage building for this house, and a newer driveway could be cut in up here at grade. You know, and you'd have maybe parking for 2 cars, no garage is all.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no one ever uses that
They
garage.
just don't want that I can see that now.
They don't want to,
Probably, Jim, see the way that dips into the garage?
Yeah.
Now, if the thing you need to ask about yourself, because you might get a different result, you can tell the township what you were told by the homeowners about never getting approval to subdivide because of the drive. What if they gave up the use of that garage and it became a storage building? Pull the pavement out so it's no more driveway and create a new driveway up here with better visibility for ingress and egress, and just have a parking area here for 2 cars. Yeah, and give up the garage.
Yeah, and then, well, you mean to subdivide if you wanted to subdivide this off?
Gives them more of an option.
You'd have to drill a separate, your own well. It'd have to have a separate well.
Right.
Okay.
If you put a round number on a well at 10 grand, I don't know if you've been pricing it.
not at all.
But if you use a number of 10 grand, it's a pretty good average for wells today. And then, you know, you could cut in a parking area and just leave it stone or gravel. You're going to want a paved apron on it. And for that factor, you go another 20 feet and just pave the parking area. Cut this in, you might have a parking area that maybe 5-6 grand. So you got 16,000 plus whatever you would be doing with the septic system.
Okay. Great.
Interesting, this was level all at one time before they did improvements to this.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, when they raised the road up. Yeah, when they redid.
I put this in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that's right, because the old road's down there,
Yeah.
and that's at that same level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the old rope, the old bridge.
Can we tell them it wasn't our fault? They think the I guess not. Huh?
That was probably 25 boards ago.
More than that. Probably.
If you could get rid of this piece, you guys would probably all be in much better shape if you made this saleable, you know?
Well, do you think that has value besides just knocking the thing down and not having to?
Well, the only thing I can tell you, it's pre-existing. They cannot deny you a septic system.
If you decide to go a septic,
Okay? If you wanted to put a septic.
Well, that's good to know. Okay.
But you told us the septic is 40-50 grand, right?
40-50 grand, you'd have it up here, give up a piece of property, pump up to this septic field anyway. Well, we don't have anything to compare it to till he puts some figures together.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
I mean, if it came back that whole connection to the sewer with the potential for the other houses was stubs, there where they could be gravity, and then maybe this a pump line, and that whole thing with, let's just pick a number, say it was $75,000-$80,000. To me, it's a no-brainer to do it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's a hidden value at every place.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
what we'll give you a price to do is come out and do some preliminary surveying to get some relative grades for elevations for where each house sits.
Okay.
Compared to the elevation of where the sewer line is.
Okay.
We'll open the manholes, we'll get the depth. That way we can tell what our grade changes in, whether we can get gravity from there, whether we'll have where we can put the pump.
Okay.
And that can tell you the size of the how much pump line you'd have to put in, whether we could get these tied in by gravity sewer.
Okay.
And then by then we can give you an estimate how much we think it's going to cost to put in one pump chamber and tie all the.
Now, will that estimate come from you or from?
He'll prepare a design.
Okay.
I'll give him the estimate to actually do the work. He can give you a pre-construction price.
Yeah, we won't design it until you guys say yes, that's what we want to do. I don't want to go into full design of the thing.
Okay.
Get permits from all the agencies until you decide.
He's going to have to. He'll give you an approximate price to where you guys think about it, ask your questions, go back and forth, and say, yeah, okay, we'd like to proceed. Then he goes into full design.
So there will be a two-step process.
Yes.
And will you then give us an estimate on what the first step will cost, or?
Yeah, we'll break it all down for you.
And then
Each task will break down.
And then if we say that sounds good, then you do the next phase.
Yes.
Which will include information from the two of you guys.
And then you can compare, and then we'll tell you what's going to be involved as far as permits from our DMUA, possibly from NJDEP, possibly from the county.
Okay. Can you give me a ballpark on what the expense would be for this next stage, which would be just sort of get an idea?
Sure.
Just, and you could email it to me?
We'll go stage by stage.
And so, do you ballpark? I mean, we're talking $500 or $10,000. I mean, what for your?
For us to come out and do the surveying, you're probably talking a couple of thousand.
Okay, and that's for the first stage.
For the first stage.
And then once you got all that done, then the next stage would be for you to do a design,
Design it.
and then
get the
also get a
permits for it.
price for the construction.
Yes.
Okay.
The construction is going to obviously cost a lot more than our
Miller
design phase.
could probably give you blueprints. They probably have them of the depth of that
Yeah.
main.
He's going to talk to Bruce Miller and pick his brain a little bit on it.
Do me a favor in their behalf, if they are cool with it. How long ago did you say the township, you talked to them and they denied you? Was this 10, 15
That
years
was,
ago?
yeah, it's 20 years ago
Well,
probably.
why don't you try again? Maybe that's not recorded.
We can give
And
you an
you
estimate on what it would cost to
Put,
apply for a minor subdivision.
Oh,
Well,
that's right. That's right. You do that also. I wasn't even
Oh,
thinking.
good, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Sure,
good
we do all
idea.
that, yeah.
I like that, yeah.
But call the township. They might not have anything recorded from
Right.
20 years ago, Jim.
Yeah.
And they might get a whole new board in there that says, give us something in design, and that might not even come up with these
Right.
guys.
Do we know anyone on the board? Do we? I used to date this one. Oh yeah.
I still do
That
some
was-
work for the township, so maybe.
You never know.
Okay. And it would just be to cut that house off.
To cut that house
As a
off,
minor subdivision.
check the driveway issue.
Okay.
Okay, just so another pricing. I want to make sure a couple thousand to get the first stage, and then what typically ballpark price for the full design?
For the full design for
The third phase, this is phase one, what we're doing today.
Okay.
Phase two is for you to come up with, the basics
Right.
and whether or not we want to move forward, and then you do the full design. What would ballpark?
pump station,
This is not his work. This is just
right.
yours.
You're probably ballpark. You're probably talking between $5,000 and $8,000.
Okay, that would be in top of the 2,000
Yes.
for this first. So you're talking the whole cost about 10
For your services.
for
Ballpark.
your services, and then whatever you come up with, $5, $6. We're friends. We go way back.
I can get 6-packs real
Couple
cheap.
cases
A
of
couple-
beer.
I can take care of that for
And
you.
that doesn't include a minor subdivision. That's going to be
How-
Yeah, that's
A little
separate.
bit
Yes, we know that's a
And
separate.
how
Or
much-
a land
And how much
survey.
beer would you like? Because I can get it really cheap.
Keep in mind, though, on the price I'm giving you, you want to get a number from him that if you went ahead with the whole project, there's engineering that he has to do
In
as
addition-
part of the project.
And it'll be-
He lays, stakes it
Oh.
out,
But that'll be part of the construction price. That'll be
well,
sort
but
of
you
what.
get that from him.
yeah.
Okay, we'll
That
just.
would give you a
From-
construction.
in addition
That's
to
if
what
we
you have to do.
eventually everything's a go,
Everything's approved. You get your construction permits in hand.
You guys
we can give you
authorize
costs.
it.
and there's a little extra work you need to do then.
Yes.
And how much ballpark?
That I have no idea until we design it.
Okay, all right.
And are you gonna give them, unless they already know, are you gonna reconfirm what the township, so they have the whole ball of wax, you're gonna reconfirm what their connection fees would be?
We'll talk to Bruce Miller about it. Yep.
Okay.
Negotiate. I tried. It didn't. Originally, he thought he might be able to figure out a way to do just one, since it's all one or two property. Then he said no. It says 3 connections.
Yeah, and
so.
I'm just interested as to why, if there's a deadline out here, why was that deadline put in? Was it for us at some point in time down the road?
Well, when you say a deadline, though,
I'm not sure what they meant by that.
Sure, it wasn't something that was eventually maybe going to cross the Raritan there.
I have no idea. You'll have to ask them.
Okay, so a time frame for your next, the ball's in your
I'll
court,
give
right?
you cost or project orders for estimates for the next phase, the surveying and the concept layout.
Hey, Jimmy,
And-
mistake. I guarantee you that's a
Probably.
Yeah.
And the property survey, I'll separate them, but we'll get that to you next week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, within a week for the preliminary?
Cost.
Okay.
Cost for the
An
preliminary.
estimate for it.
Estimate.
Once you sign it, then
Yeah.
do the work. It'll be.
And how long for that step?
It'll probably be another week or two to actually do all the surveying work and the concept layout.
And after this next phase rather, and we say go, then we're locked in for the third phase as well. Then
Yes.
as far okay.
Once we give you the price, you say, all right, we want to do this sewer pump station. Then you're locked in. We'll do the design and the applications and the permitting and stuff like that. Or you decide, no, let's just fix the septic for the house because the cost is way more than we thought.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
good.
then that'll be a whole separate deal where we'd have to do soil testing and.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All sounds good. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for coming out, Brian. Thank you. It's good to have you here. Ernie, you learn anything?
Yeah, a lot. It was interesting.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thank you.
Okay, guys.